Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Liverpool Perspective. It's episode 17, and we didn't do a podcast last week. We didn't really have the time to do it, so apologies for that. But these past few weeks have, especially the past few days, have been absolutely mental. Uh,
Yeah.
Literally, the 12 owners tried to change football into soccer, and so it's been, but thankfully for now it failed. So we'll get into that a little more. But we need to talk about what we need to talk about what's been happening before that as well. And I think we before the last in episode 16, I think we were about to play Aston Villa at home, and we beat them 2-1. So let's talk about that briefly.
Well, hey guys, I'm back. But
Oh yeah, I forgot about you, Dylan. I'm sorry.
it's all good. About that Villa game, I remember we were very pessimistic going in. We were at home. We lost like what, six straight at home. It was Villa, who was a decent side this series. We were hoping for a draw. I think both of us were just hoping for the draw,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And we got the best result possible, and we finally got back on track at Anfield. So hey, there's a good way to start the podcast. But I feel
Yeah.
like that's our biggest high point from this week.
Yep. Definitely
Yeah.
was. I mean, that game was insane in many ways. I mean, I think it was 10 a.m. kickoff, and I wasn't really excited to watch the game. I was a little eh. I was thinking 1-1 draw. We were playing. I thought the first half I remember from what I remember the first half we played pretty well,
Mhm.
and then Villa scored out of nowhere because of a stupid mistake.
Villa's been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah, and then we had the offside goal from Jota, not Jota, who scored? Firmino scored. And it was a good finish as well.
Finally.
What did you think of that offside? VAR, another
Um,
problem.
it's so like up in the air. I hate like it's just like if
Like
they
it
make
wasn't offside. It
if they
wasn't
make a
offside.
virtual ref. The thing is, if they make a virtual referee, they have to be consistent. But I feel like there's not even like you yell at the VAR so much. I watch so many other sports leagues. Like the NBA is so inconsistent. MLB review is so inconsistent. NFL is the foot out on the sideline. It's like always like none of the referees in any league in sports are ever going to be consistent
Yeah.
unless we have like a perfect computerized system, which is impossible to make.
I
I
mean,
think the one thing about VAR is I think like the other leagues, we need to get rid of the lines. No more lines. That just makes things
that's
so much more
true. The
complicated.
lines are just. I don't know how they make the lines.
Mhm.
Like it seems like they manipulate the lines each time. Whether it was it was Warner's goal, whether it was the Leicester game that we scored and it was offside apparently, and it was not offside apparently. It's like they keep manipulating it every single time, and it's
I
just
was watching. Was it Arsenal versus Slavia Prague? And they're in the Europa League, and the Europa League
oh
doesn't
yeah, the
need to
same
use.
thing
Yeah,
happened.
they
Yeah.
don't need to use they don't have the line thing now.
Well, they don't no, but
They just
not
have the camera.
they didn't. They don't even show what happened. They just
Yeah, no, they just
you
the
just look at the
referee
referee.
just.
That's even worse.
Mhm.
That at least the Premier League they showed replays of it. Like when in UEFA, like
They show what the VAR is looking at.
yeah.
There also
Yeah,
needs. Does
and
the
that's another
Bundesliga?
problem in UEFA. By the way, we're gonna get into into problems of UEFA
Does
as well. But
the Bundesliga has a screen that they roll up to the ref? One of the leagues does.
I have no clue. I mean I don't
Because
really
I feel
watch
like
the
that should just be
Bundesliga.
the more preferable version. They should just roll a screen onto the field
Yeah,
and
it
have them
should. I
replay
mean
like that.
I like how the Premier League do show VAR and like show replays in
No,
that way.
that's I just keep that. But
Yeah,
instead of
keep that.
having like a
But like
replay official,
these stupid lines. I mean that's what needs.
because even with like other sports, like they always have the replay official. Like you got to call the guy on the headset and they answer it.
Yeah, that's like in
They should
hockey, right?
just it's like hockey, like MLB. They have to phone New York to get the replay
Oh,
officials in New
okay.
York. So, um, I think most sports should start adopting where
Yeah.
they actually have the referees review their own plays because the referees on the field are the ones making the plays. So it shouldn't be up to some guy in a different room, in a
Oh
dark room
yeah.
with a TV to choose the play. It should be the referee to choose whether or not he made a mistake on that call or not.
Yeah. I mean, offside is a little different to be honest, because like it's more of a binary decision. But like, when do you have
Well,
the
it's still a call. I mean,
yeah?
like
But when you
the line.
manipulate these lines, I'm
Mhm.
sorry, it's just
Do you think the line judge should have more say in reviewing the call?
Probably. I don't.
Because it's more up to the referee and the VAR ref.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like when it's that close, when you're that close, you don't even know if he's offside or not. Like
Hmm.
if if it's like by a millimeter, you don't know if it's offside. Like the lines could be way off. So I guess when people do promote like a cutoff, maybe there's a good case for it because like when it's that close, you can't like the line could like the computer could get so much right.
Do
To
you
be
think there
honest.
should be a tie system like in baseball with reviews? Tie goes to the runner. Should tie go to the
Oh, so you mean
offense or
do you
yeah?
mean like
If it's if
oh
it's
you
you
mean
can't
like
tell,
okay, yeah, yeah.
if you can't tell, should one the offense or defense
Yeah, definitely.
should
That's what I think.
either like one like there should be a rule that says if it's unambiguous the call, it should either stand or
Yeah,
not stand. Something
yeah,
like
for
that.
sure.
Because if MLB they call if like the runner is safe and they try to overturn it and it looks like the ball hits the glove and the guy's foot hits the base at the same time, it's tie will always go to the runner. So I
Yeah,
think there should be somewhere a rule in the VAR that says if it's unambiguous, you can't tell if he's offside or not, call it as the call on the field, maybe,
yeah, I definitely agree with that.
or either or give it to one side or the other, either give it to the defense or the offense every time if it's
Yeah, because
unambiguous.
when you have like it's so tight that
Because
you
if
can't
you have
really
a
call.
rule, like people will be mad that the rule is in place, like oh we should have got that call. But if you don't have a rule, it just makes either side frustrated because nobody can tell if it's offside or not. It's just
Yeah,
luck basically.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I definitely I definitely agree with that. But yeah, and halftime. I think halftime were we 1-0 down at halftime? We were right.
I thought we were drew at halftime 1-1.
Uh, I could check quickly, but yeah, I think it was 1-0. I think we were 1-0 down at halftime. It was I guess a typical Anfield performance. Yeah, we were 1-0 down at halftime. It was a typical
Yeah,
Anfield performance, to be honest. We had good moments,
yeah. Villa
and
had that shocker.
we just can't score,
Hmm.
and that sums up our season. And the ironic, oh yeah, because the Firmino thing happened right before halftime.
And
Yeah,
Villa also got their goal right before the half.
no, but yeah, I mean in this case, if the goal was counted, yeah, but
Yeah, no,
we were
exactly. So
1-0
we were
down.
down 1-0, and it felt like going into the halftime, like all our energy just got shot. We just
Here
got a
we
goal
go. Yeah,
taken
here we
away.
go
We
again.
got a goal taken away and a goal scored on us. Here we go again. We're gonna lose to Villa 2-0 at home. And somehow, I guess Klopp finally rallied the troops a bit, and we were able to get two goals in the second half and
Yeah,
also have a clean sheet in the second half,
I
which
mean
is
the funny thing is we weren't even that good in the second half.
yeah. I thought we played better. Like the first 30 minutes of the game, I thought we were our best.
Yeah. So and when we got the goals, we got Salah, then we got Trent, who proved Southgate wrong for dropping him out. Drop, I guess he tried to prove a point when Southgate was at the game. So Trent scored a beauty at the last minute.
Hmm.
So and that was a big win because this is our first win at Anfield since Tottenham.
We had to do it the hard way. We were actually talking about a home win on this
We were talking about
podcast.
home win. So finally, so how many episodes has this been? It's been
16.
16 episodes. We got that. That's all it took for
It
us
has
to
been
get home
almost
win.
the entire like a semester of school. Like we
It
started this
took
podcast
not it
after
took more than a semester of school. It took
yeah.
because
It was the middle of January, right?
when we beat Spurs, it was during the finals week
It was like
of the previous semester.
January like 15th, January like 20th, right around that time.
No. When we beat Spurs 2-1, it was December 15th or something like that.
Holy Matt, we started all the way back then?
Yep. So
Wow.
this is during our finals. This is during finals week of the fall semester.
Whew.
Yep.
That's
So
crazy.
and now we're almost
This is our first home
we're
win of
about to do
2021.
finals in our spring semester. So put that into perspective right there.
This is our first home win of 2021 then.
Yep. No, and then you had to see Klopp's reaction to it after the game. He was like, "When is the last time we did an interview here with us winning?" They were like, "Since Spurs before Christmas," and he couldn't. He was laughing. So as typical Klopp fashion right there. But yeah, but there was a big win for the top in the top four race. I think.
Yeah, no, it helps us put Villa away a little more.
Yeah,
Keeps us safe.
at least at that point we thought that there was a top four race, and then stuff changed. But we'll talk about that Super League later. But yeah, and other results that happened, I'll mention them briefly. I think Yeah, West Ham won 3-2 against Leicester. So West Ham are still on fire, and Leicester are
It's a
dropping off.
dangerous team.
So
Did Lingard get a goal or two there?
yeah, Lingard got a few. Let me check quickly. I don't remember. Yeah, Lingard got 2 goals. So West Ham were up 3-0. Then Iheanacho got
Lingard is a
two.
brace
And
machine.
bro, the link. Apparently, Lingard was. I saw an interview with Lingard. Let me read it.
He doesn't want to get a hat trick, but he'll take all the braces he could get.
I was reading an interview with Lingard, and that I saw today, and he was saying how he was not the same person anymore when he was at United for that
He's not
last
doing
year, not
Fortnite
scoring a
dances.
goal. He said that he I feel like I wasn't Jesse Lingard. Even in football matches, I felt the game was passing by me, like I didn't want to be there. It was crazy, and he didn't mind to sit on the bench. And there are some days they had a game at 8 o'clock, and he would sleep. He would go to the hotel and sleep from 2 to 4, shut his curtains in the dark, and then wake up in the dark, and he not get any sunlight. So I guess he's been really depressed for the past 2 years. So good for
Wow.
him that he's been able to rebound.
That's that. And I think, as I was telling you, Manchester United, it's like a place that'll do that too. It's like playing in New York, if you're like in the United States, if you're in
Yeah,
a hockey team or a baseball team, a football team. Manchester United is like that in England, where it's like going to the Yankees. You just
yeah,
have the constant spotlight on you.
yeah. And I feel
And
like it's Man United and Chelsea. Those are the two teams that are like that.
I'd say Chelsea not as much. Man United. Man United just
Yeah,
has like the
yeah,
power.
true. But I
Us a
like
little bit.
Chelsea. I'm thinking.
Us even us. Like
mm,
we at one point we were really down bad like a few years ago, like where we
yeah.
didn't really care. But now
No.
like Manchester United is like New York sports fan, where they always have a level of quality they have to hold their players to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you just can't take the pressure, you crack. So it's good that Lingard went to West Ham, because I feel like that's a perfect club to rebound at. They're not
Yeah.
a
For sure.
terrible side. They're not always fighting relegation battle. They're just kind of a mid-tier team. Um, they usually have some good coaching. They have diehard fans, so
Yeah.
it worked out perfectly. And I think he's really hit his groove there, and I'm really happy for him. And I'm
Yeah.
happy that he's doing beautifully, not on Manchester United.
Yeah. For sure. But I mean, in terms, I was just saying, like Chelsea had also flops like Torres and like that. I think that also has a
Mm.
factor. Like a lot of their big
I
players
remember, can't
flop.
even remember Torres.
Yeah.
How's
But
Bernard? Is no Bernard's injured, right?
Warner, no, he's still playing. He gets he doesn't
He's still
he can't
playing.
score, but he could get assists, to be fair to him. So uh yeah,
Who do you
so
think
I
is
mean,
Chelsea's best man right now?
yeah, who?
Who do you think is their best player right now,
Their
Chelsea?
best player? I don't know. They have a decent team overall, to be honest. They're an impressive team. Obviously, they're in the semifinals right
Yeah,
now. But yeah,
there's
I don't
consistency.
know who's
Because Chelsea,
I think Mason
Chelsea
Mount is, to be honest. Mason Mount.
he's been instrumental. Because Chelsea, a lot of the times, you'd think of them like a team like Manchester City, where they just have a lot of big names, like, you know what I mean? But this Chelsea team doesn't have as many big names.
They have rising stars, kind of. It's like a perfect,
Yeah,
like,
no, it's a lot of young players, and they're all working together.
yeah. I like their team personally. I think it's a very
Mhm.
solid. What would you say? Who would you say their best player is?
I'd say Pulisic, but probably Werner. I mean, Werner
Warner.
has the highest cap. Werner has the highest cap, I'd say.
Yeah,
Mount has had the best
it's just Warner's
performances.
not hit his potential yet in
Yeah.
Chelsea, to be honest. But he's still getting assists. He's still contributing. He just can't score.
Mhm.
But yeah, do you think Leicester? Do you think Leicester will fall off the top four race?
Um, I I'm like kind of surprised, because I remember we almost had them as a lock for three almost, and
Yeah.
they've really struggled, and that helps us. But we don't want West Ham winning. It's going down to the wire.
Yeah, I mean Leicester play West Brom today, so I mean West Brom have been in good form. I think they won their past 2 games. Yeah, they did. They beat Chelsea and Southampton. So let's see what happens. Who knows? That'll be pretty interesting to see. But and what the other game was that Chelsea beat Crystal Palace 4-1. It was a pretty easy, a routine win. So I won't really get much into it, really. And then
We're not Chelsea fans.
I think what else happened here? What else happened? Oh yeah, Spurs lost to Man United 3-1. Uh, yeah,
Not shocking.
not shocking. Or it was. I thought maybe it would be 1-1, but
I'm
like,
hearing Mourinho out.
well, Mourinho did get sacked eventually. So
Yeah, that's what we heard.
yep. So yeah, that was. It would have been funny if Mourinho got sacked after the Man United game. That would have been a bit ironic.
It
But
was. I remember when we were. Remember we were first talking about what was the Spurs series, the Amazon Prime
yeah,
Spurs series, and we are talking about like Potts is out, Mourinho's in.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
big thing, and now he's
yeah. That
really now it's he's gone too. I mean, I
yeah,
didn't see Mourinho working there from the beginning, to be honest, because Mourinho's such a defensive-headed coach, and
yeah.
Tottenham is a team I don't see playing a lot of defense.
Yeah, that's
I
true. And
see them
they
such
have
as
a
a
bunch of
front-heavy
ballers
team.
in their team. Mourinho can't deal with those people, to be honest. And we saw that, but they were able. They always concede late. They always concede in the second half. Like against Man United, they conceded in the second half 3 goals after being 1-0 down. So they
Mhm.
don't know how to manage their leads, and that's not good enough for Spurs. But did you see the disallowed goal from Cavani's goal? What did you make of that?
I did not, but was it
Because
another bad
apparently
VAR?
Son because McTominay kind of touched him and Son just fell. Basically, is what happened, and there was like a whole controversy about it. I personally, I thought that it was supposed to be a goal, but they ruled it out because of a push, and Son kind of just fell. But at the end of the day, Man United got the win they deserved, and I honestly was cheering for United because Spurs are kind of close to us in the top four
Yeah.
race, so I had to do what was done there. But yeah, and then the other, I think that was it for that was like the main games. I think Everton are dropping more and more points. I think they drew Brighton 0-0, so I think they're done for our top four race. I think it's we don't need to put them in consideration. What do you think, Dylan?
Um, I think they're gonna be fighting more for a European spot in general.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Everton drew against Spurs again. They drew against Spurs. That was Mourinho's last game, and
Yep.
it was basically that was also a diabolical performance from Spurs. Everton probably should have won, but Kane was clinical. And yeah, that was a 2-2 draw was a great result for us, to be
That's
honest. So
perfect.
I took that all day. Then yeah, so that was also, and then we also had good results in the top four race. Like I think West Ham lost to Newcastle 3-2 as well, and Lingard scored again in that game too. But and yeah, and then I think we also had who else played that who else played. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it of people who of the teams who played
Mhm.
notably, to be honest.
So
And
do we want to talk
yeah,
about our
y- but yeah,
little?
I want to before we get to all. So yeah, that's basically all the
Well,
games
let's
that
talk
basically.
about our little Champions League.
Yeah, let me. Yeah, so those are the. I went a little everywhere there, but those are the Premier League results that like happened around us. But let's get into our champion. Another thing that happened this week was our before we played Leeds, which is our Premier League game, was the Super League stuff also happened around then was the Champions League game. Liverpool
So
nil, Real Madrid nil. We didn't get the miracle, but
and just looking at this, like what happens, I don't even want to like dwell on this for like too long, just because of how just like even we have more to talk about if like Real Madrid crushed us this game, but we drew them 2-0 in a game where we needed 2 goals, so it was kind of boring, and I think we played with a little more effort than we did the first leg, but we still there was no energy, and
I don't know. First half, I thought we were excellent. Like I
no
had zero.
first leg,
Oh, first leg. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I agree. First leg was just was atrocious, especially the first half. But the second leg, I went to a bar for that game. I went to that Liverpool bar. There was actually a lot of people in that bar. It was an electric kind of atmosphere, but like we missed so many chances in that game. It was
Mhm.
just ridiculous. Like this is it reminded me of the Barca game in so many ways, except like we shot like we had the Mane shot, rebound to Salah. This is like a Rigi shot, the rebound to Henderson moment. Salah missed. 5th minute of the right in the beginning of the game. If you
Mhm.
get a one goal there, you're back in the game. Gini Wijnaldum scoring headers against Barca. This time he has a chance. He has like 2 chances, and he missed. Like from a close range, he skies it over the bar. Those are like the things
That's
that made a difference
if
for us.
there's one thing that I've always been frustrated about with Liverpool for years. It's not being able to convert goals, and it's like,
Well,
when is it gonna end?
now it's I guess transpiring because this has been
Mhm.
going on all season.
Not all
This is
season. I think it's been going on for seasons.
well, I think this
Even when we
season,
won, even
this
when we
season
won a,
especially. I think this
even
season,
when we won the Prem last season, I think it was like there was a lot of goals that we leave on the table.
yeah, but I think this year especially was
Mhm.
is even more
Well,
than
now it
the
just makes
previous
it
years.
glaring when our defense is bad. Because we used to be able to win games by missing most of our shots, scoring one, and having Van Dijk and Allison have
Yeah,
us
but
win
you
1-0.
say that, but we against Real Madrid this game we didn't concede.
No, I know,
I
but we were still down 2-0
I
in
know
general.
I get that, but I'm just saying I would expect us to at least beat Real Madrid at home.
I know, I did too.
Like
But
if we won 1-0
this just
and we didn't
exposes our problems with clinicality and
yeah,
in front of the goal.
I'm just saying if we won the game 1-0 and we were out, I would say yeah, the first leg costed us especially.
Mhm.
But like if you can't if you're tying 0-0 at home to Real Madrid despite dominating that much, I mean,
There's
yeah,
something wrong.
yeah, there's something wrong. Even though how even though the first leg was terrible, I think, but you still have to be when you're playing well. You have to be clinical when you're playing well. When Real Madrid played well, we played bad. Real Madrid were clinical. They got 2 goals and they're good. Maybe
Mhm.
they could have got more, but they were clinical when they had their
We weren't.
opportunities. We weren't, and that's why we lost the tie. But yeah,
Makes sense. I mean, like, it was. I watched parts of this game. It wasn't even like. I just remember keep watching. They just couldn't score. They couldn't score.
yeah,
It
and
was just frustrating.
at the end, Klopp made some weird subs, and it was just yeah, kind of. I guess like the tense. I think Klopp even said like this his subs kind of like the player by the time the players got into the game, Real Madrid kind of got the little bit of momentum to were able to just take this thing out of the game. And
Mhm.
but yeah, I thought that in that game what was interesting was we put Milner on to start the game, and I was kind of questioning it to be honest, but it was actually a
A
very
good start.
good. It was a very good decision from Klopp because right in the first minute, Milner literally just tackled Benzema, and that literally was that like tackled Benzema. Benzema was kind of like falling down in the ground, and that kind of showed like the intensity that Milner kind of showed the intensity that was needed in this game, and that was very important. That was very important to start off
If
the game.
Salah scored that 5 minute goal, it would have been.
It
I think
was.
the momentum would have been
I think we
all
would have
our way.
won if Salah
Yeah,
scored. I think we would have won.
I think we could have won 3-0.
Yeah, I think
I
so
think we would
too.
have not even won by away goal. I think we would have won with the extra goal too. Because
Yeah,
Salah missing, that just shows the momentum that we have open shots and we just start hitting them.
yeah.
And if we hit
I
them,
definitely agree. I think
everything
we need
shifts.
that one goal. I didn't think conceding a goal would have been a problem because like I thought it was more about how good offensively we would be, to be honest.
And we were decent, except up front.
Yeah. So that's basically what happened. But the other game, in other Champions League games that were no, obviously Chelsea won. And they lost 1-0 in the second leg, but that didn't really matter. Man City, they were able to win. I was bragging that Man City would lose. Unfortunately, they did not, and Man City made it to their first semifinal under Pep Guardiola.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, that was kind
I
of
really don't want Manchester City to win it all. That's all
no,
I
I
just.
don't. But yeah, Man City. I heard I saw the handball from
Who's
Emery
Manchester
Can.
City playing?
I don't know about that. I think
Who are they
Dortmund got
drawn
robbed.
against?
What?
Who are they drawn against?
PSG.
So there's a good chance we're getting another English final.
Yeah. But
That shows you which country is the best soccer
yeah,
football.
for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, I was gonna say no, but in that game, I was gonna say Emery Can had a handball, and apparently had a handball. They gave a penalty to Man City that kind of changed the game for them because
Come on,
they
Emery.
equalized it 1-1. So because Dortmund were up 1-0 in that game, and they gave some handball for the ball hitting here, and I don't
Was it
know.
just unlucky?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Man, Dortmund should have won the game at Etihad with the Bellingham goal. So I think Dortmund were robbed in this tie. But oh well. But
Manchester City.
the PSG
Wait,
Bayern
Manchester
game was
City.
pretty good. Did you watch
Yeah,
that game? That was an amazing game.
PSG Bayern is always a good matchup.
Yeah.
It's always
Bayern
fun.
won 1-0, but like Neymar missed so many chances, like end to end. PSG won on the away goals, of course, but
What do you think's happening with PSG this summer? You think Mbappe is leaving?
I don't know. Perez was talking about it a lot, but like he was like, I know Mbappe, I know everyone. That's kind of so like he has the arrogant like mind with him, but like I'm not sure if
Poch's done a good job.
I don't know if
at
Mbappe is
PSG.
gonna move, but we'll see. But
I'd
yeah,
have to
Poch has
admit that
definitely done a
Poch
good job.
yeah.
Poch has
I
done a
knew
good
he was
job.
a
Yeah.
good coach. Like he's a solid coach. He's gonna have a long career.
Oh yeah, if PSG win, I'll be very happy for Pochettino. But it's very interesting that PSG are doing well here, but in the French league, they're in second place right now.
Wow, yeah,
Leo
behind
are
who?
first they're 3
Lyon?
points ahead.
Wow, I want Lyon to win. It was cool when
No,
Monaco won a few years ago.
Leo, not
No, not
Lyon.
Lyon. Lyon.
Leo,
So
Leo.
I thought it was Lyon. Oh, okay.
No,
But that's still
Leo.
cool.
That's where Tim Weah plays.
Yeah,
The American guy.
I think it would just be cool not to have somebody else other than PSG. But
Yeah, of course.
it was cool like when Monaco won a few years ago.
Yeah, I remember
What's
that.
What's the La Liga looking like?
But that's like, but that's like the Monaco thing was even less outrageous than this one because Leo or they didn't make it past their Europa League group stage. I remember that correctly. They didn't even get past their Europa League group stage. Yet they're beating a team that they're ahead of a team that's in the Champions League semifinals right now. So that's incredible. The La Liga race is pretty tight right now. Like,
is Atletico still at top?
Let me check because I know Barca did lose to Real Madrid, and we were looking at that game as well for ahead of this big game. But right now, as it stands,
is tied with Atletico, but they have one more match played.
Yeah,
Barcelona has two less matches than Real played, and they're at 65.
Sevilla are actually pretty close.
But they have a game played. I think it's still Atletico's season to win, but they have to do better. They've really slipped up recently.
Yeah, Atleti kind of are bottling it, to be honest. But that title race could be interesting. 4 teams are still in it. You would say.
Well, La Liga title race, interesting.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah. So and then the craziness happened.
Let's talk about Leeds first.
Well, I'm going to talk about everything here because Leeds kind of translated into this. To be honest, kind of. Well, let's get right into this whole Super League thing and kind of.
So Liverpool went undefeated in a new league in a week.
Yeah,
undefeated champions.
It was incredible. So let me kind of summarize the events that happened, and it basically.
This all took
what day was this? This was on Sunday, right?
Sunday to Tuesday, right? It lasted.
Yeah.
Sunday to Tuesday.
So basically, on Saturday, I mentioned earlier, we saw West Ham lose. I think Chelsea beat Man City in the FA Cup semis. I was celebrating. Man City are out. The quadruple's gone. All that blah blah blah. We're in the top 4 race because West Ham lost. All good. And then on Sunday, we hear some bullshit called the Super League, and we're a part of it. And then we were like, okay, these are rumors, this, that, and then this became official. Literally, it was just a statement.
Florentino, right? Yeah.
It was a statement, literally, and then after that, no one really advertised it at all. Then, no one advertised it at all, and apparently, like no one knew about it either. It was just crazy. I mean, what did you think of this whole like kind of let's start off on Sunday. Kind of let's go day by day here.
At first it was just literally an announcement.
What did you think on Sunday? Like when is this? Like 5 o'clock? When this?
I was like shocked, and I didn't want it to happen. I didn't think it was gonna happen because I heard about Bayern and PSG and Dortmund how they didn't want to join, and I think you need the Bundesliga clubs to be in there.
Mhm.
And you can kind of tell that this was being spearheaded by a few clubs. It was being spearheaded by Real and Barcelona, and then the English teams.
Yeah.
All the English teams have equal part in this horrendous shit. But I think Liverpool did it the worst way. Like their way out of it, like in the end, just was bad. But
Yeah, we'll definitely get into
yeah, we'll
that.
get to that. But I
Yeah,
was just
but
like, what? Why? Like I was like,
okay, so
I
let's
was upset because I didn't. Also, I also realized all the other teams. Like I know how many people I know who are fans of actually teams, not even in the Premier League, but Championship fans. And like, if you think it's gonna be bad for the other teams in the Premier, think about like the Championship,
yeah.
League One. Like
Uh,
we are fucking over all of English soccer pyramid for all of history.
yeah. So okay, so let's get into like the details of the Super League and kind of talk about why this is kind of a bad thing. So basically, and kind of because basically they're trying to make this kind of like the NBA NHL type thing. So I watched the NHL a little bit, but you watch more of these sports than me. So like you could kind of give a
No,
better
but yeah,
comparison.
basically,
But like
this is what they wanted to Americanize European football. So
yeah,
basically, um, how the United States doesn't have relegation system. There's just 30 teams in like say the NBA, and if a team sucks, they're just at the bottom. They get a good draft pick. Basically, um, they wanted to take all these 10. I think it was 10 at the time or nine, who agreed, and they would be unable to be relegated from this league. They would not participate in the UCL anymore. So this would be European football for Liverpool now. It would be a midweek league that would be played like an American league where if even if you're at the bottom, you don't get relegated or anything. You're just at the bottom. But it's basically a money grab. Like that's
yeah,
how it works.
it
The
is a
reason why
money
they didn't
grab.
want relegate they
But
don't want promotion relegation because it loses so much money. They just wanted television rights. They want to be able to have Liverpool play Barcelona twice a season. They
yeah.
wanted money.
Well, yeah, there's a lot. Okay, so basically, yeah, that's that. But like, so the factors of this literally is like you see teams like Leicester, you see teams like West Ham fighting for the top four, and they could get Champions League. They could get and Leicester, even though I think they will bottle it, they still have a good chance to make the Champions League, especially if they beat West Brom today, getting a win. They're 6 points ahead. Okay, so they have a chance to make the Champions League. They could, and they've been consistent there for a few years already,
Mm-hmm.
right? Leicester won the Premier League,
Leicester has been a consistent
Something that
European
Arsenal
threat
and Spurs haven't done for a while, something
since
that Manchester
Claudio
United
Ranieri.
haven't
Yeah,
done for a while,
since
something that
Ranieri.
Chelsea have done. Maybe Chelsea have done that recently, but like a lot of these teams haven't done that. First of all, so that's crazy itself in itself. West Ham, of course, as well. They're in the top four race. And even if we look at the other things like European teams that are like in the thing, like Inter Milan. Inter Milan were bottom of their Champions League group.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they lost to teams like Shakhtar Donetsk and Borussia Mönchengladbach. And so why are they not in the league then? Why
No, Inter was.
no, but why is Shakhtar not in this league?
Oh
Why is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Borussia Mönchengladbach not in this league? But Inter are, even though they got bottom of the group, makes no sense.
Sevilla.
And then remember a few years ago when Inter were crap, they were in the bottom of their Europa League group. Literally, they were at the bottom of their Europa League group,
Mm-hmm.
and and I think and literally Hapoel Beersheva beat them twice in that group. And
Mm-hmm.
that's like I think they were the first team who beat Inter in the European like group stage like twice from home and away. So why can they not be in there? For example, why can I think in that group Southampton were in that group where Inter were bottom of the group. Why can't Southampton be in this Super League? Why can't I think Sparta Prague were in that group? They were top of that group. So why can't Sparta Prague not be there? And you could say that for a lot of things. So this thing made no
Rome.
sense.
Roma beat Barcelona a few years ago.
Roma
Is
could
above
be in there
Barcelona
too.
right now.
Ajax could be there. Porto could be there. Porto
Sevilla
beat
is
Juve.
above. Yeah, Sevilla is right above Barcelona right now in the
Yeah.
standings.
Sevilla beat Man United as well a few years ago. Sevilla are winning the Europa League year in, year out.
Hmm.
Sevilla won the Europa League against Inter last year.
Against us a few years ago.
And us a few years ago. And this is the way they did this was just insane. It was more, and Sevilla won more trophies than Spurs.
They have.
Yeah.
Sevilla
So
they win the Europa League year in year out, and that's more valuable than any trophy the Spurs could win. I would rather have the Europa League to the English, uh, the English Cup, not even the FA Cup,
yeah.
the League Cup.
So you're telling me all these teams do not deserve to play against the top teams? Like these teams don't deserve to compete, even though they show that they at times that they can, and sometimes they can
I
make
get
games. Makes no
changing the
sense.
UCL, but you can't just disclude a bunch of clubs. There should be a playoff to get similar to the UCL where you have to play off to get in, and
Well,
then
yeah, they
maybe
have
it's
five.
a league. Maybe you could do a league, but at least have everybody able to compete, compete to get in the league.
Yeah, and again, they had five qualifying. There's like five qualifiers where you could get in, but did they explain that? No, they did not. Of course, they did not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that should be planned before when you start the when you announce the competition.
Then they literally were like, "All right, this is the Super League. We're ready to go next season, right?" Isn't that what they basically were trying to do?
Basically, yeah, they're saying as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
In arbitrary terms, as soon as possible.
Which means next season.
Yeah. And this would also obviously this would affect the league as well. Even though Liverpool and these teams are going to be in the Premier League unless they got kicked out because of this, it would still ruin it because these teams are getting so much revenue off of the Super League that no one else could join except them.
1 year in the Super League is probably worth more than all the money you get in any other league.
Yeah, I think it's that you get 350 million.
They would definitely
$1
reach some deal with the US TV broadcasters, sign with NBC, so that the only because it's still so hard to watch soccer in the United States, football in the United States, especially English soccer. It's the Premier League. Come on, the Premier League has gotten huge in the United States. A good amount of games are still on, but some games are on Peacock. Some games I have to watch on
stupid lie. Yeah,
on Univision. I'm watching in Spanish or I have to find some Arabic stream. They're probably they already make it hard enough. So basically, the Super League, they definitely want to find some way just to get some big TV contract in Europe and in the United States, and they wanted to have these are in the United States, yeah, people care about Liverpool, they care about Barca, they care about Real, but nobody cares about Stoke. So the thing is, if they want to advertise European soccer in the United States, they can't advertise teams like West Brom or whatnot. They have to advertise teams like Real Madrid and Liverpool. So they were probably really hoping to get this huge TV contract out of this, and that would have just screwed over the bottom clubs more. I don't think they thought they were doing something good, they were getting money back. They were literally just hoarding money for themselves.
They knew what they were.
They're awful. Perez needs to. Is Perez still in with Real Madrid?
Yeah. Wait. Let me. I wanted to say something. What was I going to say? I was going to say about the Peacock point. I literally every single time our games are on Peacock, I always want to get into this, but I keep forgetting in this podcast. We want you're exactly right. We're trying to grow soccer that in the Prem and this. They keep moving these games on Peacock and in the Champions League they put this on CBS some stupid Paramount TV, whatever you have
Paramount Plus, yeah.
Whatever the shit is called. I don't buy any of these stupid streams. I just find a live stream and that's it.
It's so funny because
I don't want to fund this thing because if you want to grow the game, you need to actually grow the game. And now they're just trying to get money off the game. And this is why it's showing in the Super League.
ESPN, Fox Sports. I remember when Fox Sports had the contract, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. For a good time at a time. Maybe I had to watch a few games that were a little on the more obscure end on Fox Deportes in Spanish. But other than that, most games were on Fox Sports. Some games were on Fox Sports too for the Champions League. It worked out perfectly. A few seasons ago, NBC.
Yeah, for Champions League, yeah.
Premier League, and it was either NBCSN or NBC, and it
Yeah,
was
and
it was easy.
before Premier League used to be with Fox Soccer. That's
Yeah,
what used. That was like the old days. That was like 2010 or something like. And
no, I remember
ESPN,
that.
ESPN used to show soccer too, like the 7:30 kickoffs. So like they show, and back then there was more TV coverage of the Prem, but
I
now it's
remember
just
sometimes, like if it's a big game, they will literally have a
when
legitimate
on
like
Peacock.
1 o'clock kickoff on NBC, like NBC 4. It's
Yeah,
big. That's like huge for soccer to be on NBC at 1 o'clock.
yeah, it
Which
is.
they need to do more of that, not more of this Peacock bullshit.
Yeah, like they put Liverpool Man United on Peacock, Liverpool
That's a
Chelsea on
game that should be
Peacock.
on NBC, like regular NBC.
Yeah, it's just yeah, that's bullshit as well. But yeah, again, going back into the Super League, just this is basically a money grab, and I think maybe some of like the fans, some people who never watched soccer before, like and kind of want to get into it, maybe like kind of as like a neutral, just like a neutral like person would maybe enjoy these games because we play like there's big games every single week. But this
That's the only reason. If
first
they
of all,
knew
it ruins the beauty. It ruins the beauty of soccer. It ruins
mhm,
the beauty of it
of
because like
Leicester winning of Leicester winning the Premier League, or Leo hopefully winning League One.
yeah, legal like that doesn't happen. Sevilla are ahead of Barca. Like Inter are bottom of the Champions League group. Inter are bottom of a Europa League group. Like how many times you can like that when that stuff and that stuff happens frequently. Shakhtar beating Real Madrid twice. Remember when that happened when Shakhtar beat Real Madrid twice this year?
Yeah.
Uh, what else? Ajax, Real Madrid. You could go on and on of all these games that were just like shocks.
Hey, Atalanta is ahead of Milan and Juve right now, and they're not allowed in the Super League apparently.
Yeah,
Atalanta's had 5 games in a row won. Wow.
yeah. And I want to get AC Milan are still
Inter's
in this.
running away this year though.
AC Milan
Anyway.
are no, but AC Milan are still in this league, and like they're like we want to. I think their owner actually said they want to compete in the highest level, bro. You guys were like sixth and seventh for like the past 6 years, and now you're suddenly saying I want to compete.
Just because you're San Siro that you share with Inter.
Uh,
I mean, like,
like
are
if
they even the
anything,
biggest club in
Roma
Milan?
deserved to be in it. Atalanta deserved to be in it more than AC Milan and Napoli.
Napoli,
Napoli
Lazio.
are a big club. Unlike
Milan is just his. AC is probably the most historic club in
yeah,
Italy.
obviously,
Besides, yeah, but the thing is, like, I
not
don't know.
now.
I'm just the only thing I'm glad about Inter right now is that Inter is probably going to win the league and Juve is not going to win for the
Oh, I'm
umpteenth time
happy
in a
about
row.
that too. But Inter at least got out of it. Juve are still in it.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Juve still want to do
who's
it.
still in it? Juve, AC, and Madrid and Barcelona.
Yeah. But the 4 clubs, I mean, the AC Milan I didn't expect, but basically the 3 clubs that are like the biggest idiots out of all of them, especially Real Madrid.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just absolutely terrible of how these and what makes it so infuriating is how easy this was kind of for it to happen, and this was coming for a while, and no one and like the FIFA didn't do much about it, UEFA haven't done much about it, and the Prem hasn't done much about it. Like all the leagues haven't done much about this. Like with all like the owners coming from um, Russia, Saudi, the Arab countries, like all that type of like all the
The
foreign
only
owners
league that
coming
does
into the
anything
Prem.
is the only league that does anything is the Bundesliga with 50
Yeah,
plus
having
1.
that
Yeah.
51,
And even
51
that's like,
fan
look
mark.
at Leipzig right now. Like, they're definitely a 50 plus 1 team, but
But yeah, but at least they're doing something. But this is why they weren't in this stupid league, and this is why we were in this stupid league, and then the more infuriating thing as we head into this Leeds match, which honestly, oh yeah, and another thing, this top four race, like there was no top four race. Like at that point, we were playing Leeds. I couldn't give a crap. I
mhm.
kind of was like, oh okay, whatever. This game is happening. Let's see what happens. Like I couldn't
um,
care less. And heading into that match, we heard Klopp, and Klopp was like, I didn't know anything about this. The players didn't know anything about this.
It's all on John Henry.
Like John Henry, FSG, so like in that type of those are the people who did this crap. But it's just so it was just so infuriating how the players didn't know about this, and the coach didn't know about this, and the fans got didn't get any any take on this. They didn't know. We didn't know anything about this either. But forget the fans at this point. The players and the coach are the ones who participate in this bullshit, and they didn't get a single notice.
Kenny Douglas, they said they weren't. They literally
Kenny Douglas, King Kenny didn't get anything.
They weren't gonna do
it. King Kenny didn't know anything about this, and he's in the executive. Like he's kind of like a non-executive person.
So it's basically the ownership groups probably had a secret meeting in wherever, and
I would say and then they had, I think recently, last month they had like a new investment deal, FSG with some red capital, whatever, and LeBron got like
LeBron owns like 4% of the team, right?
Yeah, now he owns more percent of the team. Huh? I wonder why they did that last month. Has to be something.
Well, LeBron. That's if I think LeBron just kind of wants his say in more business stuff.
Yeah, but I think he.
Well, I doubt LeBron had any involvement. This is all FSG.
No, but I have a feeling LeBron knew. I have a feeling when doing an investment deal like this, I feel like LeBron knew about this, and I feel like that's the reason why he did.
Well, no, he's not a controlling partner.
No, I know he's not, but I think I think FSG like told him about this, and
that's sketchy. That's insider. Like
that's what I think, because when you don't do stuff, I want to hear how this develops, because I have a feeling there will be a lot of questions to be asked, because I'm a little bit suspicious how this happened 1 month ago. Like this happened 1 month ago, so I would want to know what happened there, because it would be crazy if a basketball player like LeBron knew about this before our players.
I still don't think he would, because I think it was just LeBron's a huge Liverpool fan. It's more of a publicity thing still for LeBron. LeBron, like, he wants to expand his arms into businesses. Why not just buy a piece of the club? LeBron is worth over $1 billion.
Yeah.
Like,
I think what the point of having I think looking back,
it's a publicity. LeBron is like a good face. Like
it is a good face, but I'm just thinking.
Besides Messi and Ronaldo, I think LeBron.
Oh, of course, I definitely.
LeBron is probably as popular as Messi.
It's definitely a good face, but I'm just thinking when they did this, I'm not sure if this was how long was this in the plans for? Because
LeBron has owned part of the team for a while.
Okay, no, I'm not saying LeBron. I'm saying like
the Super League.
Yeah, like how long was the Super League in the plans? Like, I'm just curious, like if FSG actually were planning this for a long time already, like since like 2010, when they came into the club, maybe their motivation was to get something like this.
No, I think this has always been like the motivation of some other clubs. Like, I mean, this has always been an idea, but I don't think it was FSG's motivation. FSG saw an investment opportunity, and they actually. I mean, this is what we're gonna get into when we talk about FSG. But they saw an investment opportunity, saw a club that was kind of crumbling, and they saved us. They legitimately saved us. FSG.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of good things when you talk about. I guess we could talk about FSG. Actually, let's get into the Leeds game first, and then we'll get into FSG. But like FSG, like the Leeds game was kind of like, I don't know. What did you think?
So much. I think it was very low. It wasn't like we could have won.
Yeah.
But I think there was just a cloud of like what the fuck hanging over all the players' head and over Klopp's head that really just hindered us. Like, I think the fans knew it. Like, there was not like there was no talk surrounding the Leeds game. There was no talk surrounding the Leeds game. You go into the comments on any of the posts about the Leeds game, you know what they say? FSG out, FSG out, FSG, no Super League, no Super League.
I was watching the Redmen TV watch along during the game, and they were talking about the Super League. And to be honest, I kind of was paying attention to their conversations about the Super League and stuff like that more than the game. But from
Exactly.
from what I caught from the game, we played well in the first half. We created a few chances. We actually scored before we scored in the first half, not before stoppage time. That was the most incredible thing I
Mhm.
ever seen. And Mane scored.
Finally.
Finally, he scored.
And then Leeds scored, of course, in the
Well,
second.
yeah, but then in the second half, so I thought the players played really well, considering the pressure around this whole game,
Hmm.
and like basically, like when Klopp did that interview, especially, Klopp was the first coach who had to stand up for this bullshit. He had to. He was the first one. Was everyone in the football world was watching, and I thought Klopp handled himself
He's
pretty
probably
well.
the most looked upon coach right now in the football world
Yeah,
too.
and
Him or Pep.
I think Jimmy Carragher did say this before the game. He said this like if like Liverpool like if you fire if FSG do fire Klopp, the stadium is going to burn down.
Hmm.
That's how significant it is. Like because of Klopp is like treated as a hero.
Klopp's gonna have a statue.
Yeah, he definitely will. So FSG so Klopp had to be careful what he said, especially, and but FSG had to be careful what they were doing too, because they can't they I think they should know that they should can't fire him. But yeah, in terms of the game, the second half was kind of like it was like Leeds were kind of attacking. We had a few counter attacks. We missed, of course, we missed,
Mhm.
and Leeds score off a corner. I think, right? They scored off a corner, right?
Yeah.
87th minute. Yeah, I honestly wasn't. I was not really bothered. I was kind of bothered with this Super League.
Yeah, like
Top
it
four
was.
didn't matter at that point. At that point, the top four didn't give anything. It was just we were already in the Super League,
We
basically.
were gonna get kicked out apparently of the Premier League.
Yeah, so that didn't matter to me. But yeah, well, it was just it. But yeah, heading in onto Tuesday, then we had a bit of like in
It all came down.
it all came down pretty quickly. But like
Who
like
was the
Chelsea
first?
fans Liverpool fans protested before the Leeds game. Leeds fans also were protesting. Chelsea fans protested, like a bunch of them, and
Who
it
was the
was just
first team to pull out? Chelsea and Man City.
yeah. Chelsea and Man City were the first ones to pull out.
Was
I
it?
think it's because they were afraid they would be banned from the Champions League semifinals.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
But
But
who
like,
else is in the semifinals? PSG and Bayern, right?
yeah, they're no PSG and Real Madrid, but Real Madrid
Real.
shit.
Real Madrid's the most powerful team on earth. They can do anything. They're
Yeah.
literally like the evil empire.
So basically, that was a very it was very good to see how like the fans got together and they were all protesting for this thing, rightly so, and hopefully and like looking back on it now, hopefully this will happen to more issues in football.
Mhm.
Like I think there's a lot of like issues, especially we could discuss as we'll discuss probably in a little bit about like the issues surrounding UEFA, FIFA, the Premier League, stuff like that in the football pyramid that could be improved, as well as like social issues like racism, like like first of all the Slavia Prague incident that happened, like
Mhm.
stuff like that shouldn't be happening, and like that could we need to all get together on that as well. So there's a lot of these small things that we could definitely get these important issues we could definitely get together on. But I think
This isn't the way to do it. Like,
this incident showed the power of the fans. Everyone is like overall. I think
mhm,
it was like a peaceful protest overall of what happened. Like
mhm.
I think the players unfair. I think the players are unfairly being attacked over this, and Klopp as well. I think Klopp spoke about that.
I don't think because the players after their post on Instagram, I
No,
think
I
that
mean
kind of settled the water.
no, but I'm saying the players had nothing to do with this
Yeah,
bullshit.
no,
So,
obviously.
but like, who can they direct their frustration to? So it's just like the owners are in America. Where are they gonna? It's some hidden location in America. So where are they
Mhm.
gonna go?
In Boston, probably.
Boston. Yeah, but they don't know where they are.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a little iffy, but yeah, but I want FSG's handling on this thing overall was just absolutely
Horrible.
atrocious, atrocious. Like
That statement was actually horrible.
Like it was like this. Like
Arsenal did a
okay,
better
so
job. When Arsenal doesn't bottle it, you know something's wrong. Arsenal
we were
didn't
basically
bottle it.
waiting. We were waiting for hours for this stupid statement, and then we get a 47-word statement. A 47. That's like if you wrote an essay for that 47 words essay for like your college applications, you wouldn't get into a college.
That's 47 words. Isn't even an introduction paragraph.
Yep. So it's discontinued. We thank our shareholders for this internally.
For this opportunity, for stakeholders.
Oh, stakeholders. They said stakeholders. Okay.
Which is very different because
At least they said stakeholders. I thought they said shareholders. Maybe they did. I don't remember.
So at least they were considering us, the fans, a bit because we are a stakeholder in the club.
They never even said the fans. They just said stakeholders. It could mean their sponsors. It could mean anything. To be honest.
No, exactly. It's they were trying to make it as like
stakeholders is a broad term. Like you don't know what.
No, exactly.
It's like the broadest term you could say, but like at least Arsenal like gave an apology letter, but then we waited until the next morning for FSG John Henry to apologize. And it was a good apology letter. And I saw some of the fans like say, "Oh, this we accept the apology." No, like this is ridiculous. What happened was ridiculous, and the fact that it took this long, the fact we got no answers, like literally in that stupid Sunday thing, the announcement, we got a statement from Joe Glazer, the Manchester United owner, not from FSG, not in the Chelsea perspective, not from Roman Abramovich. Not from Tottenham perspective, Daniel
Not
Lee.
from Perez.
Perez wasn't there either. To be fair, Perez did speak out about it. So, like, we'll talk about that as well because that's something that happened yesterday, and it was like insane. But it's just the fact that no one spoke. They were all cowards. That's who they were.
When none of the teams wanted to take the brunt of it first, and I knew this was going to happen if FSG had to do everything right to really pull themselves out of this. Because Liverpool fans are probably going to be the most hard on the team, especially in Liverpool. And they literally did. They shouldn't have even released that first statement. They should have just released the John Henry video.
Yeah, that was it. But the fact, to be fair to FSG, we'll go into a Liverpool perspective on this, and then we'll go abroad, kind of like overall. FSG have done a good job. We said that they done a good job, but they had controversies like the raising the price tickets, furloughing their staff during COVID. They had stuff like that, but they apologized and like they fixed it. Fair enough for that. But then this takes it a step too far. The way the fact they did this without considering anyone in the club, without considering forget the fans at this point. They didn't consider this to Jurgen. They didn't ask Jurgen Klopp. They didn't ask Kenny Dalglish. Those are the two most influential people in this football club. Those are the two most right now. Mm-hmm. If they say no, that means you should not do it. Like, because if they say no, that means you would expect the fans to all say no.
Well, the thing is, if they said no, I don't know, because the thing is having Liverpool sit out and seeing Arsenal and Tottenham join the league, the Super League too.
Well, yeah, but all the clubs there, they did not consult with their like managers.
Yeah, no, so you can't just pin this on FSG. No, you got to pin this on Kroenke, the Glazers, Abramovich.
Yeah, it's everyone.
Whatever his name is, the Sheik of.
This is the Liverpool perspective. So I'm specifically pointing on FSG because we need to talk about us. But yeah, you can relate it to everyone else. The Glazers didn't basically were just whatever. The good news about it was Woodward left for Man United. That was good news for Kroenke's. I don't know. He didn't even say anything. He didn't even say a statement.
But they had an apology, but it wasn't from Kroenke.
No, it's from the Arsenal board in quotation marks. Anyone could have wrote that. Bro, an Arsenal fan maybe wrote that. You never know. Maybe I don't know where they got that from. It was definitely not from Stan Kroenke. The Stan Kroenke doing this shit is the least surprising thing I ever seen in my life.
He obviously, Stan Kroenke's relationship with fans isn't that good based on Arsenal, like he's fucked over Arsenal supremely in the last.
He fucked up the St. Louis Rams, right?
St. Rams, I was gonna get onto that. The Rams are the big thing. I've met a few people from St. Louis, and they are they can't like they can't root for the Chiefs because like that's like sacrilege, but they refuse to ever root for the Rams again because the Rams were in St. Louis. I mean, the Rams are LA's team; they're from LA, but the Rams were in St. Louis. They built a new stadium for them, a dome, and which was a bad decision because dome stadiums don't last, as we know. And Kroenke literally left them in St. Louis for 20 years, and then just took him right back to LA because he got the rights to build his $5 billion mega playland super stadium.
Yeah, so
which is where the World Cup is going to be.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah,
yeah.
You should see this new stadium that Kroenke built for the Rams. It is actually absurd.
Yeah, this whole thing was just outrageous. Like the way this is done, it just.
There needs to be some. There should be, I think. Well, this would screw up our Champions League hopes for next season. There should be saying all 6 clubs. All 6 clubs should have like points deducted.
Okay, heading into that. So whereas one of my friends, he does the. I wanted to get him to be on this episode, but unfortunately I couldn't get him on because he was busy. We would kind of like figure out what time to do this. But he asked a question on this Instagram after he did this episode in the Soccer Universe podcast. The Soccer Universe podcast. He asked, should the teams that decide to join the ECL be punished? And elaborate. So you think they should have points deducted, right?
I think if there's anything that should happen, either points deducted, but I think the most fair thing is they should just be charged. Like they should literally be forced to give all this money that they take in from TV rights and be forced to give it to the other 14 teams in the league who did not.
That's true. Yeah, they should definitely do that.
But
that's not gonna happen.
Exactly.
Let's be real. That will not happen. If anything, it'll just be the Premier League UEFA trying to get more money off of them, and that's part of the problem too, because not only these UEFA, the Premier League, they were all against this for one reason, and that's because they were losing out. They were losing out of the money.
The Champions League would have fallen apart if this existed. The Champions League wouldn't have.
Well, you think the Premier League would have also kind of fallen apart? It would have been less competitive. And it would have been this bigger split, and the English pyramid in itself too. But yeah, especially the Champions League. The Champions League couldn't be for this. The Champions League couldn't be for this at all because it would be the collapse of UEFA. And FIFA, obviously, this relates to FIFA as well. The same thing. It just looks terrible on them as well to let this happen. But they're all corrupt. They're all part of the problem. The reason why this has been growing, spiraling out of control over the years with all these players coming in and it's because of FIFA, UEFA, financial fair play. Why are Man City still in the Champions League?
Because they were allowed somehow.
Why are they still in it? I thought they were banned.
Chelsea should have you gotta look at Man City, gotta look at Chelsea, look at PSG, Man City, they actually banned for 2 years, and then they could go back. It's fine. They'll get a small fine. Really? And then you ask, you think why you're asking why this happened? Money. And you're asking, they're like, the UEFA president's like, these teams have let us down. We didn't expect this. How do you not expect this? What's there not to expect? This has been spiraling out of control for a while. And then UEFA make a stupid Champions League format. They make some I think they have. Yeah, it's completely ununderstandable.
Did you see that format? I don't understand it.
Oh, okay. This was ridiculous. Talking about punishment, I think it was either Jamie Carragher or one of the players or former players who comments on Liverpool all the time. It could have been Carragher. It could have been what's his name? Who's always in the comments? The Spanish
Neville?
one. No, the Spanish. It could have been Neville. Oh, it might have been Neville.
Fabio Romano.
I wouldn't know. I just can't think of it.
Maybe
Neville. He talks about Liverpool a lot. That
James Pierce.
Yeah, it was one. I think it was. I think it was an English pundit, But he
Okay.
basically said that the 6 clubs should legit face like Juve punishment and get relegated.
Oh. I don't agree with that. I just
That
think
would be ridiculous. Imagine the 6 clubs in the championship.
actually, before we get to the Champions League, we have a lot before, but like, do you think FSG should be out? Like, what do you think is the future for that FSG?
I don't think they should be out. I think they have to rebuild their relationship with the fans. Maybe do stuff that is more in the fans' favor. Listen to the fans, and then also deliver a trophy next season. To
Yeah.
heal this, they need to deliver a trophy next season.
Well, okay, so personally, I would want FSG out, but there's a big but. But there has to be like actual like there has to be like that 51, like the fans have to like own more of the club like in Germany in order for that to happen. Then I would support FSG going out. If not,
But the thing is, if we
not,
are
I want
50
them to
plus
stay.
1, if we're
not,
50 plus 1,
yeah.
oh, we wouldn't be able to compete with what's it called? I don't think we'd be able to compete if we were 50 plus 1.
Well, yeah, but Bayern are able to compete. They have a foundation. Same thing.
Well, that's like but Bayern is like if the city was basically a corporation running it. Like they're so condensed. It's just how and everybody, basically the entire Bundesliga is 50 plus 1, besides Leipzig, Leverkusen.
This has to be a change for the whole Premier League, basically.
No, it'd have to be, but that would mean, because if we were 50 plus 1 with FSG out, are we competing with Sheikh Mansour of Manchester City?
True as well.
No.
That's a good point as well. You have a good
We
point
are Manchester City's biggest rival right now. If FSG's out, we're going back to Europa League.
Yeah, so that means yeah. I mean, that's true. I don't think Liverpool would go into it. I like you can't.
30 years it took, and FSG
this has to be a requirement. This has to be a requirement by the Premier League in order for this to happen. But in terms of FSG out, like besides the FSG out, yes, I think that they lost the trust of the fans no matter what happens. Like even if they win the trophy, even if they sign a few players, have a better relationship with the fans. I think the same thing with. I think what happened here was just.
Irredeemable?
Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, who are they gonna get? Like we have to be
There's
careful
no bonus. We're not, unless we find some rich oil Mansour in the Middle East like City has. Yeah. We're not gonna be able to get better. FSG, and it's like, I know they're a cash grab, but FSG, besides like wanting the money, they're actually like good owners. Like they know how to run sports teams. They're not just owners with lots of money who are buying sports teams for the hell of it. I know a lot of people like that too. But like James Dolan, owner of the Knicks, he has a billionaire and he wants the Knicks for fun. And even though they're slightly good right now, they're usually shit. The thing about FSG is, even with the Red Sox, the Red Sox, before FSG came in with the Red Sox didn't win for 100 years or like 98 years or some shit. And FSG comes in, and 2 years the Red Sox win the World Series. Liverpool didn't win the Premier League in 25 years, 26 years. Then FSG comes in 3 years after that, we win the Premier League. So they're obviously proven good at running sports franchises. So I don't know if we kick FSG out, who are we going to find?
That's my point.
Unless FSG really fucks up, like next season, they're not delivering on titles anymore. We're back into the Europa League. I think they need to get out. But FSG has done so much for our club in the last 5 seasons that it's so sad that this one thing completely unbalances that, because we won 6 and our first ever Premier League title. Yeah, technically. And like after I remember winning the league last year, like we were as happy as we could be. Like we were top of the world.
And that's why I'm saying if this actual the fan owned thing actually was implemented in like the Premier League, that's why I'm saying that I would support FSG out.
No, yeah,
but otherwise I would not, because I don't know who else we will get. Well, are we going to get the owners
with Abramovich
previously? Are we going to get the owners previously that bankrupted our club?
Was it Gillette?
Yeah. Gillette. They basically bankrupt the club in like 3 years. Mm-hmm. So that we don't want that either. So that's a lot worse than having FSG. At least at least FSG show some care of the club, even though they're not obviously they're not perfect, and they did
FSG, the
something
thing
like
is,
this.
they care more about the club as a business than the club as a club, but they care more about the club than most other
Yeah,
owners do. But they're more into they want to field a good team to win titles to make money, not field a good team for the fans.
yeah, but listen, that
But
at
that's the
least we
point of
at least we have
football.
the same.
All sports are a business.
Yeah, of course, and we have the same motivation in that point. It's not like in the stupid Gillette thing where they literally just they didn't know
Like
how to run the
literally
club.
drain the money of
They
the
just
club
did,
of
they just
money.
didn't know how to run the club, but they were just getting money for themselves. And that's what
I've
Kroenke
heard like
trying to
a
do right
lot worse than this. Like when the Dodgers were sold to their new ownership. Like this is also very similar to FSG. The Dodgers literally were going bankrupt. Like the Los Angeles Dodgers were in the same position at the same time as Liverpool. In the early 2010s, they were legit going bankrupt. Their ownership, and it was because their ownership was even worse than Gillette. The owner was so bad that he was using all the Dodgers' money to fund his own divorce case. And literally, the Dodgers were sold to a new ownership group like Liverpool was. That Liverpool sold to Fenway Sports Group. The Dodgers sold to a bunch of people, including like Magic Johnson. The Dodgers won a title in 5 years. Liverpool won a title in 5 years.
now. Yeah,
So it's really like having good. I don't want FSG out because I am so used to witnessing bad sports management and bad sports ownership
Mhm.
that FSG is really good ownership.
yeah, yeah.
Like like really
It's
good
better than
ownership.
what we
Like
could
not like
have, right?
really good ownership like in regard to the fans, but they're good at running a sports team.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
They're
But
good at being competitive and Liverpool like playing Liverpool against so we're able to actually compete against City and Chelsea.
no, I definitely do agree. I definitely do agree with you.
Because I remember like a few years ago, even when Man U was still like decent, I thought it was either gonna be like the league was gonna come like basically like the La Liga with just basically Man City, Chelsea, because they just had so much more money than the rest of the league. Even
Mhm.
Man, the only maybe Man U could compete because Man U is just such a big icon. But the thing is, Man City and Ibra, or Man City and I mean like Abramovich, not Ibra. Like I confused
Yeah, yeah.
Abramovich and
No,
Ibra,
that's
even,
okay.
but like they just have so much money that we need like it's like Liverpool doesn't even have nearly as much money as Man City has. But the fact that we're still able to compete neck and neck with them shows how good their management is.
Yeah, I definitely do
Because
agree.
Manchester City is like they're like Liverpool is very strategic on fielding a good team and winning titles. Manchester City's strategy is we could buy the best players in the world and we'll
Yeah,
field
well,
the best players in the world.
that's a different story. No, you're definitely right about that. I just wanted to get before we get out of the Super League stuff. I wanted to get into like Paris, the Real Madrid president Paris's like interview.
Mhm.
It was a very interesting interview. I'm not going to mention all the quotes he said, but like he was saying some outrageous things. Like I think he said one quote. What quote did he say? Let me. Oh yeah, he said that basically young fans don't watch football. They have other hobbies, like for example, and they're like he was
What are
basically
they
saying,
afraid? Are they afraid that they're losing fans to the NBA? Because that's the only league that I see like popular overseas besides football.
he basically I think before this interview he said 16 to 24-year-olds are not interested in watching the full 90 minutes of games. They're more distracted. He
I heard
basically
that they wanted to change it to that he wished that football come like 60 minutes or something.
yeah, that's what he's
That's
trying to do. And more
ridiculous.
commercials probably.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Let's at
That's
this point, at this rate, let's just have four 15-minute quarters with commercial breaks in between.
bro. We can make this as
Make it
basketball.
literally like American football. Let's have
Yeah.
them throw the ball.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Why kicking it? Kicking is boring as well. Where's there's another quote they had that was outrageous. Uh, they had a quote. They had a quote. Oh yeah, they had a quote about what was it? Oh yeah, he basically said that he said that one of the Premier League clubs weren't convinced of the project and it became contagious to the rest of them.
Which one do you think it was?
Which one?
Chelsea.
I think this I don't know which one do you think it was. I mean
I
Man
think it
City
was
probably
Chelsea.
won. I think it was Man City.
Really? I
Yeah,
think Man
because I think
City
Man City were the first one to drop out, right?
was it. I thought it was Chelsea.
Chelsea. Chelsea. Yeah, it was either between them. I'm
It
not
was
sure.
really the fans, I think.
No, yeah, the fans. Yeah, the fans had enough of it. It wasn't one. I don't think it was one of the Premier League clubs. I think especially the Chelsea fans were kind of worried of their other fans. Oh yeah, then he was whining. Then Paris was whining that 650 million euros had been lost between 12 clubs last season.
Well, that's not
Super League was
650
the way
euros
to earn
lost.
money.
That's 650 euros that that are possibly that you can gain. It's not technically lost. It's able to gain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it had been lost
You just
last.
you're
No,
seeing you we're seeing 650 million in profits
no,
locked away.
it had been lost last year. It
Oh,
was
like
last
lost,
year.
like legitimately lost.
Yeah, legitimately lost. But what are Real Madrid doing now? Why did we play at some training ground? Because they're Real Madrid are building a new stadium,
For
rebuilding the
how much
stadium with
money?
a bunch of
Probably
casinos. Literally, they have casino. I read that they have casinos in their stadium.
in the Bernabeu.
Yeah,
Are
and
they
then
making
he's
it?
still
Are they gonna
playing.
make the Bernabeu into basically like that's what I'm saying? Kroenke with the LA Rams, he has this entire the $5 billion stadium. It's not just a stadium. The Bernabeu is gonna become like an entertainment complex with shops, movie theater. Was like you can see, yeah. It's a
Yeah, and then here's the other outrageous quote that he said, and people say that this isn't about football merit, but it's wrong. Those 15 clubs earned it on the pitch. They have been winning trophies for the last 16 years, 20 years. How can you say they haven't earned it? Arsenal, Spurs, uh,
even us,
Milan,
even us to an
Inter,
extent. We were bad for most of the 21st century.
and Liverpool. Yeah,
We
Liverpool
had
too.
what the one lucky year in 2005 until Klopp came.
Yeah,
We bottled the league on multiple occasions.
yeah. Uh,
And then you don't let a team like Sevilla, which is obviously they you can't say that Sevilla has earned their success to be in the Super League.
yeah. And then to pop it all off, Perez basically he was comparing this to he said if Nadal plays Federer, everyone watches. If Nadal plays the number 80 in the world, nobody watches. There are games that nobody watches. The truth is, I struggle to watch them. Well, good for you.
Good
In
because I know
Spain,
there are
in
people
England,
who
in Italy, that's that's what he said.
there are literally people who treat it like they don't understand. There's a disconnect. Like as like American football fans, like you could be a fan of one team, but you have the TV on all day with each game running. You know what I mean? Like you could
Yeah,
be a fan. Like, I'm a Jets fan, but I'll watch whatever game is on Sunday night or whatever game is on Sunday, whatever game's on Sunday during the day. But I'll just be flipping through channels, something to watch. Like I don't care as long as like the Premier League has to do like the NFL where they basically have a contract where all the TV games are shown. Because I want like I don't care as long as give me whatever West Ham versus like who are they playing or Leicester versus West Brom. Like I don't care if they're smaller clubs. Like
yeah.
it's exciting football. Who can, they could be a you don't know out of one of these small games. There could be a half court goal scored. Like like
Bro,
you know what I mean?
he's saying all this bullshit, but what is Arsenal not beating Fulham not entertaining? For example, is Arsenal losing to Olympiacos 2-1 in the Europa League not entertaining? And then you see
Very much is.
we react to it,
Even us, like
react to them
us
losing
getting
to an embarrassing
thrashed. Think
team.
about it. We lost to Villa 7-2. For us, that's painful. But for most other fans, like
They were laughing at us. That's the whole
that's
point of this.
exciting.
It's football. It's exciting. You have these games that come out of nowhere. When Real Madrid
Mhm,
lost to Shakhtar Donetsk twice, I was
mhm.
laughing, and I will continue laughing because of this stupid Perez guy.
Wait,
I'll continue laughing.
I know it's
You
probably
can't compare Federer and Nadal and like you can't compare tennis to football. I'm sorry.
the
Like,
funny thing is,
guy.
it was probably the
I really
saltiest
do
about
hope
this.
Chelsea smack Real Madrid.
I feel
Put
bad
them
for
in their place.
Everton fans. Probably felt so annoyed that they weren't included in this European Super
Bro,
League.
and I saw people in my soccer chat. Do you know the people who are happy about this Super League?
Who?
Real Madrid fans.
Of course,
Surprise, surprise. Exactly what I thought about them.
Real
Uh,
needs to be on. Real feels they're on a different playing field.
just these
They
people.
literally, they legitimately feel they're on because they have whatever that one award from FIFA for
I
being
mean,
the best.
most of them are a bunch of
They
plastic
legitimately
fans. Real
got
Madrid
a
fans and
like.
Barca fans and Juve fans are a bunch of
Did you know
plastic
that they
fans.
literally have an award from FIFA which says like they're the best club of all time?
Well, good for them.
Yeah, I know, but like it shows you that they think they're on like a different level.
Real Madrid fans, Juve fans is kind of as well, and Barca fans, a bunch of them are just plastic fans, to be honest.
I'm surprised Barca fans weren't as mad because Barca is such like a club. It's like Bayern.
Yeah, I thought Barca were better too. I expected this from Real Madrid. I thought Barca had a little bit more integrity, but to be fair,
Well, after the whole shit with
Barca
Barca,
have a lot of shit going on with them.
yeah,
So I don't really know
I,
what
I'm not.
at
I
them or
really
not.
just don't want to see Messi in a light blue jersey next fall. That's all I hope.
Yeah, but I'm focusing more on Real Madrid because Real Madrid, I hated them for a while, and this kind of like.
There's more confirmation.
But I mean, to be fair to the stupid Perez guy, at least he had the balls to speak, unlike the rest of our owners.
Hmm.
Like FSG didn't say a word about the Super League. At least Perez did. So fair play to him. But another thing on that point of the watching Federer and Nadal is a lot more interesting and stuff like that, bro. If you play the same teams every single year like this, it's gonna get boring after a while, especially with soccer. Like I think soccer it's more like this is gonna be more like a regular season than the playoffs. Honestly, like for the NHL and NBA, for example, I don't give a shit about the regular season until I care about the playoffs.
Like I do, and it still doesn't get boring to me. I don't know
Yeah,
why. Because
like
also you're cycling through new players every
and
year.
you no,
There's
but
some teams which come out completely different, and like what we talked about before with like you say it gets boring of the same teams in England. Promotion relegation.
yeah, so you always
Promotion
have something
relegation.
different. And yeah, you always have something different, to be honest. And
I think they
a
should.
lot of these teams do improve. A lot of these teams do improve with like out of nowhere. So they do improve out of nowhere
There
with
should
good
be
investment and stuff like
promotion
that.
bonuses.
Well, and here everyone in this league is gonna have have good investment, have good players. So it's
Mhm.
gonna be I don't know. I don't see and eventually this league's gonna become boring. The same thing again and again, but the same teams playing
Mhm.
in the same league. It's gonna get boring. Like it's gonna be literally diminishing marginal utility right there. For That's basically what it is. People are gonna stop watching this after a while. And these the regular like the people outside watchers who just want to watch for interesting games, they'll also get bored of this after a while.
Mhm.
So, but the true fans will never get bored of this. So it's going to cost us, and it's going to get eventually in the long term, it's going to get less views for them. But yeah, that's basically this is all corrupt thing. Like literally, they put the highest revenue the teams with the most fans, the highest revenue like teams in this
Mhm.
altogether. Even if they're shit clubs like Spurs who win no trophies. But yeah, do you have anything else to say about this? Because we're
I'm
running
just
out.
happy that
I
it's
know you
kind
have
of been
Flash,
resolved.
and I want to preview the Newcastle game. So do you have
I just
anything to
hope
say
that
about the Super League
FSG.
shit?
I just hope FSG kind of is able to
Yeah,
dig their act a little better.
I'm just worried. I was on
Yeah.
another thing I'm worried about is that Perez said that they still have a binding contract with the 12 clubs, and he says that we'll still get this to happen.
No.
That's why he did say that as well. I was going to mention that. So, well, let's hope FSG
I
and the
hope they
other
just
owners
don't play like that. I
actually
hope
learn their
they'll
lesson.
imagine the league gets created and everything. And the first game's try to kick off, and the teams just aren't on the field.
I know, right? Well, yeah. So I hope that this will not. I hope this will not happen. Like, I really just hope this will. I hope this will not.
Yeah.
That's like the last thing we need. But yeah, yeah, because he's like you can't get out of the Super League just like that. He says that this could still happen. Uh, but yeah, Liverpool versus Newcastle. Uh, but top four race is still on. There's still a top four race, and I'll look at the standings and I'll give you. Actually, Atletico Madrid are playing right now, by the way,
Yeah, they're
and
who
they're
they
up
play.
1-0, so they're top of the league right now. They're 3 points ahead. So just so
Mhm.
we update this for the podcast because we did talk about that league. But so we have some interesting games today. Leicester. So we play Newcastle right now. Leicester play West Brom or later. You'll obviously you guys will watching this will know what the result. But at the moment, we're 3 points. We're seventh place, 53 points. 3 points behind Leicester, 2 points behind Chelsea, and 2 points behind West Ham. Tied with Spurs, but we have a game in hand over Spurs. So this is a big game against Newcastle. What do you think, Dylan?
Hoping for another. Where are we? We're home, right?
We're home. And yeah, Newcastle are on a good run. They won their past. They're undefeated. They only lost one of their past 5 games and won two, and they won their
I feel
past.
like it's gonna be another draw for some reason, just because of
I
how
loved another
I
draw.
feel. But I really want another home win. Let's start another home streak.
We should win this game. It's Newcastle.
Let's start another streak.
Hopefully, I'm gonna. Yeah, we're running. But I don't know for the lineups. I would just say, what would your lineup kind of be quickly? We're running kind of out of time. Allison in goal.
Jota start against Leeds. I'd start Jota.
You would start Jota. Probably same back four as usual, right?
Yeah.
Midfield. Who would you actually start the midfield? Because I think Curtis Jones is back. I would actually think of starting him.
I'd do Curtis, Genie,
and Fabinho, right?
Fabinho.
Yeah, I think Curtis will start this time.
And then the same front, and then the
front three.
Jota, Salah,
I think Mane is a good form, so we should have the Salah, Salah, Jota, and Mane, right?
Yeah, Salah. Actually, yeah, that's better. Salah, Jota, Mane.
Yeah, so I think that Salah got rest against Leeds, so yeah, I think that's a fair enough lineup, to be honest. So yeah, what's your predictions? So I'm saying 2-0. I'm saying 2-0 Liverpool.
1-0 Liverpool.
1-0 is probably more accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the goal's going to be scored in like the 70th. The goal's going to be scored after the 75th minute.
Bro, I wouldn't be surprised with that score. But yeah, let's let me just Leicester West Brom. You think Leicester will win this game?
I feel like that's going to be like a 2-0.
Even though West Brom are in good form, I think so too. Yeah. And then I think Man City are playing like they're playing the Carabao Cup final against Spurs, so they're not playing in the Prem. So that means the other biggest game that's really left is West Ham versus Chelsea. This is a huge game for us. Huge game. So that's our last game we're going to preview before we end this episode. But like, what do you guys think? What do you think, Dylan?
I want a 1-1 draw, like a draw.
I think this could be a 1-1 potentially as well.
Mm-hmm.
It could go either way, to be honest. This will be a great.
We're 2-2. Lingard has another brace and Chelsea.
You see, these are the games that are good. These are the games that are good, like West Ham, Chelsea.
Yeah.
This is the beauty of football. In the Champions League, you have these type of good games as well. And we can't have that loss.
I really want the Champions League upset, like some team to just.
You always want a Champions League upset.
I just want like a team to go on a run. Like I want to see like a smaller club win the Champions League. Like I want to see like.
Oh, that's the good thing about the Champions League. You always never know what happens.
But
That's so good with the Super League. That shock is over. And this ruins the competition completely. Yeah, this whole thing infuriated me for these past few days. Like I still have so many more thoughts to say about this, but obviously you have a class in like 2 minutes, so we're gonna end the episode. We could probably go on for 2 more hours, but
just ranting about the Super League.
Like literally, Redman TV had like episodes. Really, they've been talking about this for like 5 hours.
Crazy.
We
got a good hour to talk about. We got a good hour.
And there's a lot to talk about. Maybe we'll talk about this in the future podcast, especially when the season's over. Like about the Champions League. The Champions League have a new format with the new they have a league kind of. Mm-hmm. Then they have the third division kind of thing, and there's other issues in football we could talk about as well. And I guess in the Liverpool perspective, maybe for Soccer Universe, the main podcast, they probably talked a lot about a lot of that stuff as well. So definitely watch them. It's called the Soccer Universe with Yashish, Fran, and Archit. But yeah, that's episode 17. What a hectic episode.
Yeah.
We definitely went long on this. We could have went longer for sure if Dylan didn't have his class right now. But yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you after the Newcastle game, and
And
hopefully we get a
best
win.
luck, yeah.
Hopefully we get in the top 4. We're in the top 4 after this week, and we'll see you all next episode.
And fuck the Super League.
And fuck the Super League. Bye for now.